Okay. I thank you for joining me, and we'll practice from time to time. Hopefully, I can get on my mat daily and just check into my body and seeing what it needs today. And that's, I think, the most important thing when you do a self-home practice. And I'll be out here and probably doing that more than anything, not pre-scripted, which most of my classes aren't pre-scripted. I might get an idea, but I'll try to cue what's coming to me through the practice and join along if you wish. Hopefully, this helps. Try to take your own session on your mat and just go for it. Um, start with easy seated pose and bring the palms open onto your knees. Upper arm bones roll back and down. And exhale. Still cleansing breath. Inhale. Tall. And exhale. Seal your lips. And just feel the audible sound of your breath. Let's do alternate nostril breathing. Take the index and the middle finger onto the palm. And the ring finger, you can press slightly on the left nostril. Inhale through the right. And pause. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Pause. Exhale through the right. Let's breathe through both nostrils. Pause. Exhale through both. And repeat this 3-4 times. Inhale. Pause. Switch. Inhale left. Switch. Exhale right. Release down. Inhale. And exhale. And again. Switch. Exhale left. Inhale left. Switch. Exhale right. Let's do one more round. Inhale through the right. And gently exhale through the left. Inhale through left. And switch. Exhale. Lower the hand down. Slowly lower the left ear to the left shoulder. Nod the chin towards the chest very gently and back. Lift the left arm up, bring it over. Two index fingers and the middle finger to the upper earlobe, upper ear. A little bind in the palm of the hand at the base thumb, side of the skull. Maybe resist the hand. And gently release. Roll the chin forward. Back to center. And lift back the chin to parallel to the floor, to the ground. Right ear tilts over. Right hand comes up. Feel the hand into the back skull. Fingertips into the ear. And then release the hand. Roll the chin. Back. Feel some crunches going on. And bring your head back to center. Let's do some neck flossing, shoulder flossing. So as you pull the fingers back, feel the right ear move to the right shoulder. Bring the fingers down. Okay, that's right. Let's do it this way. Okay. So fingertips come to the shoulder head. Right ear goes to the right shoulder. Then unfurl the arm, and the left ear goes to the left shoulder. It's not really pulling the nerve endings apart, but more or less unsticking. And then the fascia and the clumps of connective tissue. So as the right ear goes to the right, fingertips come to the shoulder head. Just move on your own pace and your own breath. Maybe the inhales as you unfurl. Then exhale. Fingertips to shoulder heads, right ear to the right shoulder. One more time. Inhale and exhale. And bring the left arm by your side. And bring the right palm upward and the right ear to the shoulder. Feel that shoulder come down and in. Palms extending, but you're also hugging the arm bone in. Exhale, tilt to the left. Inhale. Inhale, unfurl the right arm. Exhale, fingertips come to the shoulder head. A couple more times. You can do this. Take your time. And one more. Good. And release the arm back down. Let's bring both hands to the shoulder heads. Inhale, open wide. Exhale, roll the elbows forward. Inhale, and the shoulder heads back, elbow circles. And exhale. Inhale. Let the spine move organically with the breath. Imagine that it's like an accordion as you're opening up the intercostal muscles. The breath flows in and then exhale, circle around. And let's pause and reverse the directions. Inhale, elbows circle in and up. Exhale, come around. Let's move in with your breath. Good. Bring the left arm out wide, palm facing the sky. Notice if the shoulders hiked up, relax down. And the crown sits tall. Fly the arm forward and move it in between the shoulder blades. Right hand comes to the elbow. The shoulder head goes back down. And kind of press the skull into the forearm of the left hand. And slowly hinge over to your right. So lateral bend. Nice little deep stretch. Left side of the body. Counterweight the left sit bones down. Inhale back up. Good. Take the right arm, rotate it inward, and bring the back wrist into the sacrum. So you don't have to, let's not go to the bind right here. Just press both hands. And just feel the shoulders externally rotate on both sides and open up. Good. And lifting the hands like to hover. It's not touching the shoulders, not touching the hips. And then we're going to release it back. And then right palm comes out. Just like rotate here. Bring it forward, up, and back. So one side could be way different. I like creating the bind with the, whenever I can. You could bring the side of your skull into the side of your back head into the forearm. And just hug the whole arm bone. Not just from the elbow back, but feel the arm bone where it meets into the shoulder girdle. And feel it come back and then down. And maybe you can feel the back ribs lift up and press forward. Yeah. And slowly tilt the right elbow up to the sky or lift as you tilt over to the left. The right sit bone is rooting to the earth and back to center. Keeping the right arm here, let's bring the left arm and internally rotate. So you kind of need to internally rotate to get it behind you. Once you find that happy place, right? Open up the shoulder, externally rotate the arm bone back. Good. Now, with the activation, I can just soften it and still be active. And maybe the hands can hover over the torso or the back. Imagine that not pressing down actually just takes so much more of the body to be involved into the pose. Good. And then with this active movement, Bring the hands now on top of each shoulder. So we stack the elbows. Draw the chin towards the chest. Feel the stretch between the shoulder blades. And then inhale, lift the elbows. And then exhale. The weight of the hands lift and neck. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Now, releasing the hands and bring the arms out wide. And then crisscross them opposite hand onto the shoulder. Good. Inhale, lift the elbows up. Nudging the lower ribs down. And then exhale. Inhale, lift up. And exhale. More times. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Go ahead and release your arms. You want to crisscross your feet or wiggle them out. Just do that. Good. Now, you can move your blocks if you had any. I don't know if we'll use them. Move into tabletop. Kind of get the shins rooted into the ground. Tops of your ankles. And just rotate the arms in the movement of the cat cows. Inhale. And then exhale. Inhale. Open up. Exhale. Press through. Back heart through the shoulder blades. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Curl the toes under if you want a little more stability. Inhale, hand rises up. Exhale, tuck it under and grab the back of the left shoulder. So hold here and press and gaze looks over the left shoulder. I release, inhale, gaze follows the right thumb. Exhale, tuck it and thread it under. Good. You want to lift the left hand up and touch the right hip. Let that left shoulder open. And you lift it up to the sky, right? Play with the rotations of the left arm. Just feel the arm bone, not just the hand, but as close as you can to the shoulder muscles. You can feel that arm explore its mobility. Your shoulder has great mobility, and we want to explore, but also keeping it lifted. We help build a little bit stability. And I'll bring the palm to the front of the mat, facing it, and lift it over. And press down. Draw the fingertips underneath the elbow and bring the right hand up and then bring it back down. Okay. Left arm rises up, then threading it under the right, reach for the shoulder blade and then just bring the gaze, root down the shins of the left of the feet. Inhale, gaze follows the left thumb. Exhale, this time we thread it under, bend the right elbow, lower the left ear down. Good. The right hand can rise up. You play with the arms, rotating the arm bone, hands. Now, internally rotating, bring the fingertips of the right hand to the left hip. Good. And you can open up. Now, once you get it there, externally rotate and open up the right shoulder. So you want to think of any time the arm goes behind you, to get it there, you internally rotate. And then once you find a bind of sorts, you externally rotate to open it up and protect. Good. Now turning the palm facing the front, maybe it hits a block. Press the palm down and hug the arm bone back, shoulders down, in, and glide the hand of the right hand underneath the elbow and rise back up. Good. Walk the forearms down to the ground. Good. Let's take a block. And turn the knife edge of the hands and the palms facing the sky. Okay? So we're at the wide level of the block, as you can see. And in fact, I'm going to try to do it this way. So take the thumbs and try to press them to the ground. Good. And slowly go ahead and lift the blocks up. Bring it back down. Curl the toes under and lift up into down dog, into dolphin pose. Okay. So you really feel the arm bones rotating here. And notice if your chest is collapsing down, or just feel it lengthen through the sits bones. Lower the knees down. Good. So part 2 might be this way. Okay. You can stay where you're at, and that's fine. But again, elbows might come in closer even than the wrist and the hands, and then the thumb tips flatten onto the mat. Now, bring the head towards the ground and then lift the block up, squeezing between the knife edges of the hands. Good. That's part 1. Part 2, or let's say A, 2A. Now lift up onto the feet. Maybe you come in a little closer with the feet and press the outer heels down. So the inner ankles or the inner arches, you can feel them rise upward on the front side of your legs. So where the hips hinge, kind of where the thigh meets the lower abdomen. I feel like there's a little bit of a space right there. Like if you have little cotton balls or just something, maybe like a Q-tip. Not really squeezing it, you're just creating a little bit of space. So slowly lower the knees down. Good. Take the block on step 3, the sharp side. Shout out to Fallon, who's taught me this is called the hot dog side. Hi, Fallon. Okay, so bring the thumbnails out wide, elbows in a little more. And maybe we're in this rabbit pose or embryo sort of pose, and bring the hips back. And really feel the shoulders working. And press the knife edge together, thumbs out wide. And just lift the block. Good. Bring it back down. Slow and controlled. I lift the knees up to hover. And then extend. Maybe you step the feet up. Just keep working on opening up the palms. And you might be like, wow, how often do we do this? But allowing yourself to be in a place, that I think is safe. Of course, if there's sharp pain, back off. But sometimes standing near the ledge allows you to see that there's a safe way to come down. Because fear is often from the distance. It's always, it's never as bad or good as you think. Something my dad always used to tell me. It's usually somewhere in the middle. Go ahead and lower the knees down. And then let's glide forward into Sphinx pose. So now you should really feel the difference in the shoulders in Sphinx. Press the tops of your feet down and lift the kneecaps. Good. Now pull the thumbs apart, hug the elbows down, press the hands down, pull the thumbs apart, and then hug the elbows in towards the feet, just like back. Now try to relax the glutes and the groins. Good. Maybe you can feel a closer connection of the pubic bones to the ground. Usually if you're really super active in the glutes, it'll kind of lift the base of this pose, which I consider the hip bones and the pubic bones, like a tripod base, to not really be rooted. And now release the activation, or at least lessen it. Bring the heels up. I feel it in your lower back a little more. Softening the lower ribs down, and then opening up the external rotation of the shoulders. Lift the back ribs up through the skull, and bring the feet back straight. I'll go ahead and relax. Hands by the side ribs. And then rise up into upward facing dog. Feel the shoulders rotate, opening up the sternum, lifting up. And curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Now, feel the shoulder, like you're going to rotate and press the shoulders together, like they're pinching together. Now, feel the arms rotate and you feel them pull apart on the back. Good. Now, walk the hands in a little closer if they're wide like me. And notice how like your practice can change. There's times I started really wide with my hand placement, and I've been moving more closer inward. Now, rotating the arms, lower the forearms down at the same time. If you want to play with a forearm stand, interlace the hands and take this little pinky. So if you have the right index finger on top, bring the left pinky curled under. And I'm going to do the Iyengar method one where you bring the, at least from what I see, the thumb tips together here. And you're going to put the cup right into the back of your skull and the elbows in. Right? So lift and walk the feet up. And the head is not necessarily all the way on the ground. Walk the feet. And think of your gaze parallel into the horizon. You can stay here. You want to lift one leg up or two and play with your tripod headstand. So feel the feet rise up. And play. Give you some time to play with that. If that's not working for you, another option is to take a block. And just wrapping the hands around. Sometimes I like to put the base of the knife edge on the ground and the thumb on top. Just depends. But the block is used elbows in. And if you have a strap handy, a belt, you can put the strap around the inner elbows in the crease area. But it's the same principle, but you're using the block on the back of the skull to give you stability. Now, the beauty of working the shoulders, um, working the shoulders to some extent before you try this, it really gives you a different access than if you just throw yourself up into a headstand. Not a big fan of just doing the one with the top of the head and the hands. I think some people just, traditional headstand maybe. That's a very kind of a hard one to do safely, I think. But I'm sure other people will tell you otherwise. And let's go ahead and move to a bit Shavasana. Let's use a block. Let's do a heart opening pose first. So lower and put the block kind of more the tip of the block at the very bottom tip of the shoulder blades. And then take the second block if you have them and put the right at the edge of the skull, back skull, so you have some space here. Let the arms open, point the feet. Bring the toes to touch, even though they're pointed. heels a little bit wider. If you don't have a block, just as well can take a rolled blanket and put the noodle underneath the same area as the block that I have. You don't have to have a second one for your head. You can lay here in a non-active kind of pose. The outside, really enjoy the wind, beautiful sky. Enjoy your breath. Let that be your anchor. The anchor of consciously knowing that you still are alive. Find the appreciation and beauty in that realization. No matter what circumstance you are handed or presented with, you still have the choice of your attitude. Good or bad is perception. Find this pose to be wonderful when things don't really feel so good. When you don't feel emotionally well, try putting some type of support of the back heart. And just give yourself time to really be in that space. I'll step the feet inward, let the knees move to the sky, turn the heels out, toes, pigeon foot. Lift the right arm up the head, roll onto one side. And if you have that rolled blanket underneath your back or the shoulders, bring them underneath your knees. So I always put them not right under the knees, but close or higher up so that when I lean back, it's right in the perfect spot. Just let the legs dangle, the arms release fully. And appreciate you practicing with me if you happen to be watching this. And for the remainder of your Shavasana, just let yourself have as much time as you need, maybe a little bit more. And bring yourself up gently. Begin moving your fingers and your toes, ankles and wrists. Inhale, draw the hands above your head and bring the knees into your chest. And give yourself a nice big hug. And roll over onto one side into fetal position. And when you're ready, the upper palm and press it into the ground. Let the head and the neck and the shoulders be the last part to rise up to your seated pose. Whatever leg you had crossed at the beginning of practice on top, go ahead and cross it that way, the opposite way. Bring the hands to heart center. Cleansing breath, inhale and exhale. Seal the practice with an Om. Inhale. Light and love in me honors the light of love, beauty, stillness within. Namaste.